Do you like tube amplifiers? Do you like tube amplifiers that are on the more simple, lower wattage side of things so that you can crank them up and push those tubes into saturation and distortion, etc., etc., etc.? Do you like tube amplifiers that are on the simple, lower wattage side of things and they happen to be made completely in the United States of America? Do you like tube amplifiers that are simple and lower wattage and made in the United States of America and happen to have a very reasonable price so that you can actually afford the dang thing? Well, have I got news for you, because that is what I'm going to demo in this video. We're going to discover its features together because I'm going to unbox it. What we have in here is an amplifier from Marla Amplification. They're a newer company from a newer builder. And from what I understand, this is going to be a very simple 2-knob, 10-watt amplifier. And I can't wait to check it out. Well, there it is, the Marla S10V. It's got this raw wood cabinet thing going on. Very simple 2-knob situation. There are 2 different inputs. I know that one is meant for humbuckers or higher output guitars, and one is meant for lower output guitars, you know, like single coils and stuff like that. And then all you've got is an on-off switch, and it's just dead simple. I can't wait to hear it. But first, let's take a look at the paperwork that it came with and do a quick read so we are both on the same page and know what we're getting into here. Welcome to Marla Amplification. Marla Amplification is dedicated to bringing the best sonic platform to musicians at an unbeatable price. We take away what we believe to be the unnecessary to help reduce cost and reduce resistance in signal flow. We believe tweaking is for pedals and that an amp should be a pedal-friendly foundation for guitarists wanting to craft their signature sound. The S10V was specifically built to achieve iconic and recognizable 1950s Class A tones. However, it runs hot compared to other single 6V6 amps, giving players a range of tonal opportunity that most vintage amps could not achieve. The amp features, here's the tubes, ECC81, 6V6 GT, 5Y3S. Inputs are low sensitivity for humbuckers and gauge staging pedals, and high sensitivity for single coils with tons of amp sag. Controls are volume and tone. Wattage is 10.6 watts. Impedance is 8 ohms. This amp is handcrafted in Asheville, North Carolina. We hope our creation brings you joy. Plug it in, crank it up, and have fun. All right, I'll do it. I'll crank it up and I'll have fun. Let's get it plugged in and mic'd up and all that good stuff, and I'll start putting it through its paces. I'm all plugged in and mic'd up and ready to start making some gnarly sounds here. But let's take a moment to look at this thing. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with here. Very interesting, kind of like bare bones construction. Like, it's put together really well. Like, the woodworking is good here, but it is a completely unfinished cab. There's no clear coat, there's no wax, there's no oil, nothing like that. No stain even. I know they sell one with like a blue stain, but this is completely raw wood. And I actually had a phone conversation with the builder last week, and he was saying that he prefers raw wood because he thinks that TOLEX is a tone killer. Is TOLEX a tone killer? What do you guys think about that? I mean, TOLEX is made out of plastic. It's this plastic-infused fabric that you wrap around things. What's the tonal qualities and characteristics of a plastic sheet? I don't know. But, you know, I could see a lot of people out there running with the idea that raw, unfinished wood will have its own tonal characteristics that'll be imparted into the experience you have with an amplifier. I don't know. I don't have any big opinions one way or another. I kind of like this very raw, rustic wood look that's going on here. Like, this thing's going to age. You want a guitar cab, a guitar amplifier that's going to pick up, you know, all your beer rings and coffee cup rings and stuff like that, and pick up age as you do. I mean, raw wood's going to do it. Also, it's very economical. This amp, by the way, as of filming this, You can buy these for $850, I think, $859, $849, something like that. I can't think of any made in the USA tube amplifiers that are even close to breaking underneath $1,000. And this is $850. You can't buy a factory made guitar from one of the big brands that's able to, you know, price lower than the boutique builders because they do so many numbers. They produce at such scale. You can't go buy like a Fender tube amp that's made in the USA. I don't know if you can buy one made in the USA at all. I don't know where they're made now, but you couldn't buy a Fender tube amp right now for $850, as far as I'm aware, unless it's some sort of little like Champ or something like that. Oh my gosh, I am just I'm winging it here, guys. I'm making assumptions, but I feel like they're fairly educated assumptions, right? Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Let's check this thing out. I want to hear it. By the way, I'm going to be using my Fender American Vintage 2 Jazzmaster loaded with a bridge pickup from our friend Mel at Alameda Guitars. This is his off-kiltertron. It features a 6-way rotary switch here that gives me a selection between 3 different humbucker and 3 different single coil tones. I'll start off on the PAF setting. Let's turn it on, see what it sounds like. It's got the volume all the way down here. I'll turn it up to about 9 o'clock. We'll see what that time sounds like. And the tone is at noon. There we go, we're off to the races. Sounds like it's right on the edge of being crunchy at 9 o'clock on the volume knob. Right on the next single. Has that kind of like hollow Fender tweed sort of thing going on there. Back to the bridge humbucker. What speaker is in this amplifier? 12-inch Mojo Tone Anthem. I don't know anything about that speaker. Do you? Do you guys know anything about the Mojo Tone Anthem? Tell me down in the comment section what you know about the Mojo Tone Anthem guitar speaker. I'm going to explore the range of the volume and the tone control and then plug into the other plug here. And then I'll start hitting this thing with some pedals to see what happens. So there's the volume all the way down. Did it sound the way you expected? So right about 8:30. Just before 9 o'clock is where we've got our quiet bedroom level. Sounds nice. Very gentle volume level right now. Would not upset anyone else living in your house. Very clean and kind of light and plucky sounding. All right, then I'm assuming there's a pretty decent jump from there to 9 o'clock, which is where we started out. Yep. We'll take it up to 10:30 or 11. I don't know. What time is that? We've got some low end entering into the conversation. Doing here? I don't even know anymore. Onward to noon. What does lunch sound like? Crunchy now. Sounds great. I'm having a really fun in-room experience right now. I just played a lot. I'm sure I'm gonna cut it down to almost nothing, but double noon like that, I'm having a good time. Let's take a break from exploring the volume control and check out the range of that tone control now that we're sitting in this really nice kind of dynamic, touch sensitive edge of breakup territory. Just dump it all the way down. All the way up. Very subtle tone control. It just kind of bleeds off some of the highs, but you still get plenty of twang and grit with that tone all the way rolled off. It doesn't turn it into like a jazz amp or anything like that. Might as well leave it at noon for the time being. Let's keep going forward. I'm gonna jump all the way up to 3 o'clock. Sounding really good to me. I'm having a great time right now. Yeah, I'm having a good time. Let's turn it all the way up. So far, the volume level has been very comfortable. I'm sitting right here, right next to it. And it's not hurting my ears. It's not blasting me out. It's plenty loud enough. Like, it's filling the room at 10.5 watts. You wouldn't be playing with like a punk drummer or in a metal band or anything like that. But if you're playing, you know, with like a light-handed drummer, I think this would do it. I think you'd hold up unless you want to be on, like, fully on top of the mix. But of course, these days, everyone's micing everything up on stage anyway, so I don't know. I don't know what to tell you what to do. Some sag there. We'll try some of the other pickup settings on the off-kiltertron. That is some real sag. am I even doing? Let's check out this other plug. I didn't test it, so that might have been the single coil plug. Let's find out. It could have been the humbucker plug too. I don't know. No, I think this is the single coil plug because it said there would be more sag and more gain on the single coil. And here at 9 o'clock, that's definitely more gain than we had before. I'd say more gain and more twang. Let's check out the quietest version of that. A bit of like a tin can sound in that plug. So back to 9 o'clock. Go straight for noon. That's got some sag on it. Actually feels a bit louder, or maybe my ears are just getting tired of being right next to it in that top jack setting there, that higher gain, higher sag, single coil setting. I want to plug in some pedals now. I want to see what happens if I hit this with dirt, with reverb, delays, things like that. I'm going to plug back into the humbucker setting to get a little bit more clean headroom. And here on the table, I've got what I refer to as the motherboard. This is the pedal board that I use in pretty much all my demos. It's off on the floor, and I'll call off pedals that are on here. But it's just a collection of things that I think represent kind of like core tones that I like to mess around with. Obviously, we've got a tuner, but then we've got the super cool 77 fuzz blender. This is a fuzz, obviously. It's a big muff, but also if I push in this button up here, it gets me some crazy Velcro ripping sounds. We've got the Wampler bell for our mid-pushed fizzy green style overdrives. It's based on a Nobles, not on a Tube Screamer, but it kind of lives in that territory. We've got the 50/50 by Pelican Noiseworks. These are back in stock as of filming this video. I'll have a link down in the description for that. And then the True Spring Reverb by Source Audio. This is my go-to digital drippy reverb pedal. Like I've got the Surfy Bears when I want that real actual spring, but for the convenience of a pedal board, the True Spring is the one that I just fully recommend. It does the drip. We've got the Dark World by Chaseless Audio for a kind of like shimmery, modern, ambient style reverb. And then I've got the Moonpool on here. This is my tremolo right now. It's a cute little guy. It's fun. It does a lot of different stuff too. It's also a phaser. And then we've got the A-Labs Time Slip down here. This is a delay I'm very fond of. All right, let's get into it. Let's see how these hold up pushing into an amp that likes to be dirty. This amp wants to ride that edge of breakup and beyond. It's not a clean platform like I usually use in like pedal demos and stuff like that. Like I use the Princeton's dialed in pretty dang low and clean to be just these clean amps. This amp has personality. This amp wants to be pushed. It wants to interact gain-wise and compression-wise and sustain-wise with whatever is going into it. So let's see how it interacts with some of these pedals. There is the PAF setting from the Off Kiltertron. Let's try hitting it with the bell first. I think it likes it. Moving on to the 50-50. The bell seems to be the one. I like the way that works with it. that's enough of that. That was fun though. It's always fun hitting a dirty tube amp with a nasty, gnarly fuzz. Let's see how it holds up to reverbs and things like that now. It's a dirty amp. It's not a great big high wattage, clean platform sort of amp. It's always going to have some grit to it. It's always going to have that kind of tube grit and filtering and compression and saturation going on. So if that's what you want, that's what you get with it. I wouldn't use this as a surf amp where I'm hitting it with that springy, splashy reverb, unless I was going for a very specific sort of sound. That gritty kind of like Link Ray sort of sound, yeah, totally. But if I was going for a more classic, kind of like Venture's very clean, sort of like... There's just too much hair on it. But if you want bluesy, gritty sorts of sounds, like that's what this sort of amp is for. So yeah, I don't know. It's information that, I want to tell you guys, but you can use your own ears. You can figure it out. You can tell exactly what's going on here. Let's move on to the dark world and do some more kind of like praise and worshipy, kind of like modern shoegazy, ambient like style stuff. It's got kind of like a Voxy character to it. in that it takes delay really well while being crispy and crunchy and gainy. It has that bright, just cut through sort of characteristic going on. That's very interesting. I didn't love it with the spring reverb, but I have very particular tastes in that direction. But with the delay, I bet if I spent a bunch of time testing a bunch of like different styles of delay into this, I would find a delay that just connected with it. Like some sort of like murky analog delay that still stands up nice and stiff on the repeats. I have a feeling something like that, like a memory toy or something like that, would do really well with this amp, or even a full-blown, you know, deluxe Memory Man. Not just Memory Man, a deluxe Memory Man. You know what I mean, though. A nice, murky, old-school analog delay, I think would go really well with this amp. So what do you guys think? Don't only watch my video. There's some other videos out there. Go watch those too, if you're curious about these. Get a good bead for what kind of sounds this sort of amplifier can make with different sorts of players, different sorts of pickups, different sorts of approaches. But I like it. I think there's something really charming going on here. You can't argue with the price. A USA-made boutique-style amp for under $1,000, $850 as of filming this. I can't promise it'll be that price forever, but it's that price right now. What is this? June 3rd, 2024. It does a thing. It sounds great. It has a really nice like in-room sort of feel. Very warm, really fills the space. You can hear that it doesn't have TOLEX. I don't actually know that. It's an interesting idea. I would feel very interested to hear the difference between this amp and an identical amp with TOLEX on it. But even without the TOLEX, like I like the look. I like the look of it. I like the vibe of it. I can kind of smell the lumber in the room a little bit. You know, when you can tell that there's raw wood in a room, you can sense it, right? Your lumber senses go off. So anyways, huge thanks to Marla Amps for sending this out to me. I'm looking forward to getting to know it better. I have a feeling this is going to live around the house. This looks like a living room amplifier to me. Or maybe I'll work it in here, make it part of the yacht club from time to time. I don't know, but I like it. Do you guys like it? So anyways, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, dislike, leave me rude and nasty comments, support us on Patreon, buy a shirt if you're naked, click all the links down below, and stay grounded. Bye, everybody.